All right, let's give this a shot. So first of all, I just want to say sometimes I do use a heating pad to preheat my dog. It does help with massage stuff. I'm not actually doing that right now, but I just wanted to mention it since it's out in here. Heating pads are great for dogs and humans alike, as long as you don't get it too hot. I like these plug-in ones with a little bit of softness to them. I think this one has a washable cover, so I'll just lay that on Hamilton for about 5 minutes, sometimes before I massage that area, or I'll kind of like massage underneath it so he has a constant heat source, but you will get heat generated from massage on its own too. All right, moving over to our tough customer here with some packaging the dogs pulled apart earlier. All right, so I tend to start out with just like slow pets. And the key here that I feel like gets lost a lot in massage is you do want to have like continuous pressure. So instead of doing like this, like you can do that. It's not bad, but like you're almost feeling like you're trying to like smooth out a sheet. And by applying that continuous pressure, you're actually going to feel the muscle underneath and you're going to feel the irregularities. Like Hamilton has so many irregularities around his lipoma, which is huge. And so that's an area I often have to focus on, loosening those muscles up. And the two main strokes for massage are like one that's like this. It's just up. It's just like with the grain of the fur, with the grain of the muscle, because yeah, muscles do have grains to them. Like when you feel a muscle or see a muscle, you'll see that the kind of strands or fibers of muscle go in a specific direction. And they're like laid out in a certain way. And the fascia is like keeping them in place. But when you get like an irregularity, that's where a trigger point happens and that's a source of pain. And for Hamilton, that can happen around his arthritis, that can happen around his low back, it can happen around his lipoma, and then it's also compensatory. So he gets sore shoulders, sore chest. So when I find an irregularity that doesn't seem movable, I kind of just put a finger on it and I press it just gently, like I hold it there instead of trying to move. Sometimes I'll move back and forth or like change my angle a little bit, but you'll start to notice it loosen up a little. Sometimes it'll even feel like your finger sinks down into the next layer. If you're not seeing any like change within like 30 seconds, then you can start massaging around it. And there's like, it's just kind of a combination of circles and back and forths for the core components of massage. The other one is kind of circles in either direction, whatever works. I think I tend to do counterclockwise for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't think it makes a difference. And so like when I find a spot, like I said, that's not smoothing out, like it's like I hit a snag, like with my scissors when I'm cutting wrapping paper or something, I just kind of hold it there or like go back and forth in that area to like loosen that particular area up. Or here I'm doing small circles with my finger or fingers. You can do multiple fingers depending on the area. And this is a small area that I'm feeling kind of a knot in. Like when they say knot for muscles, it's like that's a real thing. It's like the fascia are all super bunched up and angry, and you need to like help normalize them, like help smooth them out. So I like to go around the edges of what feels like that lump or that knot. And kind of like if I feel a knot or an irregular spot, I just hold on to it gently. And sometimes you'll feel it just slide under your finger, like you loosened it up. Basically, when I had a breakthrough when somebody described massage to me as elongating the muscle as much as possible. So sometimes like if you hold a spot and then like stretch out your dog's leg, it's like helping them stretch. So that is the goal of massage, is to break up those fascia, to loosen the adhesions. Sometimes you'll feel like it almost feels like a piece of gristle or like, something kind of more tough. It's like you can almost feel a lip underneath that. And I try to sometimes you'll find it's like a cord that almost like slips out from under your finger. But if you can get a slight hold on that and just apply a little bit of pressure, experiment with the direction, sometimes it loosens up like that. I said that my level of massage that I find most effective is basically if you're poking the top of Jell-O with the pad of your finger and trying to apply enough pressure to move across the top of it without tearing the Jell-O or sinking down into the Jell-O. That's about the level of pressure that I think is right for dogs in general. It could be lighter, it could be heavier depending on the dog and depending on the severity of the pain or the sensitivity. May is a lot more sensitive than Hamilton in general, even though her pain I think is not as bad. She doesn't tolerate it as well. So if you have a dog that doesn't like it, you might just have to go really slow and like not do any of these holds and just kind of like warm up the area. And that's still a good thing. Like, just because you're not like helping like totally like release or soften muscles doesn't mean that it's not helping at all. And that goes the same for heat and heating pads. It might not fix it, but it does help. Good boy. It's holding on a spot, and it's almost like it like melts between my fingers. It's kind of like if you have like bubble gum stretched out and you poke your finger in the middle and just hold it there. It's eventually probably gonna like tear from the pressure. It's kind of what it's like. I'm full of like childhood comparisons, I guess. But like this is like the edge of the muscle, and it almost feels like, I don't know. It's lumpy. It's like, this is like what it feels like when you put your finger inside the Jell-O and you're like swirling it around. It feels all kind of like, I don't know, squishy. But like, it's not uniform. It's like there are like bits and pieces. And so I'm in the middle of one of those kind of lumps, and I'm just kind of adjusting my direction and trying to like find the outsides of it. I don't know if this is making any sense. I'm largely self-taught, so some of it you just have to kind of like get used to when you start feeling your dog. But I'd say the most useful things are just kind of like the amount of pressure, the different techniques, like the circles and the up and downs are basically the two main moves of massage. Another one that I find a lot of dogs really like is skin lifting, which is, I'm actually making some good progress on him right now, so good boy. And I adjust the angle of my finger a lot. You're kind of trying to worm your way down in between the muscles and find different ways to split up the muscles because, right, basically they're super tight, they're constricted, right? And so you're trying to find like ways to get to the juicy center that has the angry spot. Sometimes this can be very surface level and sometimes it can be deep. Good boy. Oh, I know. Yeah, that was a good one, huh? Oh my goodness. Going along the edge of the muscle or the sore area, there's a little twitch. So if I see a twitch, I'm automatically basically stopping, going back to that spot and holding down with really gentle pressure. And maybe rocking back and forth or in a small circle. Oh, good boy. Or like using the palm of my hand to kind of like help stretch that muscle. So you're like kind of pulling down and back with the heel of your hand and kind of pulling forward with your finger. And then kind of using that as a unit. You can also use two hands for this, but I'm filming, so this is another good way. And I'm like literally following the path that the muscle has led me to. But now I hit a snag, so I'm just gonna hold. Good. And again, it's like I'm letting his muscle kind of take me. I'm just applying pressure where the ride stops, basically, to kind of like clear out what's happening here. So found another pathway. Like you're trying to work your way through a pathway and you hit dead ends sometimes and try to hold on to the dead end or follow the path where it's leading. It's very existential sometimes. Good boy. But I do kind of go into a different headspace when I'm massaging. Like all my breakthroughs in massaging him have been like while I've had a gummy, so that might have something to do with it. But being self-taught on an aggressive dog, like you kind of just like have to be in a certain state of mind. Good boy. Okay, It's really tight here, so my finger is kind of like sliding back and forth, and I wasn't meaning it to. Like the muscle will twitch and kind of get your, like, force your finger out of the way. Oh, good boy. Oh, good boy. Yawning tends to be a good sign. It's like release. So just going to show you kind of what I'm doing right here. So see, like, this is actually like pulling my finger back. Like, he has an automatic twitch. So whenever I, like, it's almost like there's like a little pocket. Now, like, the muscle is around me a little bit here. I'm like resting in this. I can't really go too far outside the bounds without lifting my finger up. And so that's why it's key to, like, keep your finger or your pressure. And when you hit snacks, just holding on to them. It's like those things where you can't lift up your finger for a drawing. I don't know if you've ever done this for an art class or something, but good boy. If you feel a ridge going up and down it, like, it should feel like it kind of has a rough edge to it. Maybe it doesn't have to be like uniform up and down, but like if you find a ridge like that, that's like the edge of a muscle. And oh, Hammy, I know, I'm sorry. I was not paying attention to how hard I was going. The sass. Okay, this one, it's kind of like a little bit of a roadblock, so